Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. Hey everybody, so in this video we are going to do a video, a top 10 list of our favorite Habs that weren't stars. He's Russ Cordwell.
Ready,
Who's your number 5, Delaney?
Go with goaltender Richard Sevigny.
Richard Sevigny.
I thought about him. I thought about it, and I thought, yeah. And then I went with Cristobal.
I know I liked him, but mostly because we had the same name. I think that's so. I wouldn't put him there, but I didn't dislike him. It was a good combo, a good tandem. Sevigny and Walmsley was a really good tandem.
Yep,
I thought.
I agree.
And not the best, not a great era, but I mean, I thought they were a good tandem together.
Yep. And like I said, he played okay with Huron and LaRock as well when needed. So,
yeah, that's a good pick.
And I've always liked his mask. When as a kid, that's why I liked him more than Walmsley, and that's why Walmsley didn't make the cut.
Yeah, I like them both about the same, but I like the 78 because he had the same name. Matt, who's your number 5?
So this will be nice and quick because we touched on him earlier. My number 5 is David Desharnais.
David Desharnais. So what is specifically why you? What I mean, I guess that's right in the ballpark of you beginning to like the Habs.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense. Top.
Yeah, I like kind of what we touched on earlier. I thought he was a fine, two-way player. If he was a couple inches taller, he would have been great. I thought he had great hands. I thought he was great with the puck, great passer.
You know what? I thought there was no question Desharnais had the talent. He didn't have the body for the talent that he had to make it work. That's to me.
Maybe that's why Jeff hates short people.
If you had made Desharnais 6'2" and about 230 pounds, he'd have been a dominant force in this league.
Even 6 feet. Even 6 feet. 6
sure,
feet,
even 6 feet.
He'd have been a really good hockey player. Like he'd have been a legitimate. You could legitimately say, yeah, okay, number 1 center. I could see that at 6 feet.
But at that size and weight, would he still have the agility that he had at the?
Well, if he grew up,
played at?
Well, no, if he grew up with it, sure, why not?
Yeah. I figure it might be a little bit slower, maybe, but yeah, I like him.
Yeah, Desharnais. I don't.
The guy was a bulldog.
Yeah, I think he was.
He's still playing hockey too. He's playing in Switzerland.
For a small guy, he got the most out of his career.
Yeah.
For the size that he had, like I think he did. I think
the guy's a little bulldog.
Yeah, no, definitely, no problem having.
He's still playing. He's in his 40s now. And he's still playing in Switzerland.
Yeah, I heard. Nice. I actually heard that.
Didn't he win a bronze at the non Who Cares Olympics there a couple years back?
Could have. I think so. I think
he was here quite a few years ago when he was much younger. I'll have to verify this with my brother-in-law. I think he used to teach a power skating course many years ago when he was coming up.
Could be.
And I think he was.
He was a very good skater too.
Yeah,
he was very good on his feet.
He was a good hockey player. Just didn't have the size, and he got the knock because they had nobody to put at center with Pacioretty. He worked with Pacioretty. There was chemistry there.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was chemistry there.
Pacioretty always cleared the ice for him.
Yeah, no, there was definitely chemistry between those guys. Yeah. All right, Pete, who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Chris Higgins. I know you guys are going to boo me on that one, but I love.
That's fair. Chris Higgins was pretty good.
Yeah. I really loved him.
He was really gung ho to be a Hab. This kid really loved being a Hab.
He just
can you
talk about heart?
Yeah,
that kid had a lot of heart.
He did. He just didn't have the talent level to go with it.
He didn't have the talent or skill. But when it comes to, I remember a coach when I was learning how to play volleyball years ago, like grade 8 or whatever. And I remember the coach saying, if my best players only had the heart that you have, and that's the same thing with Chris Higgins. If he just had the talent, he had the heart, but he just didn't have the talent.
He just came a little bit short on the talent level, but he was a good third liner, a really good third liner. I have no problem there. definitely.
Yeah,
I was thinking more
one of those guys
third, fourth
that
line.
it was too bad it didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
All right,
to see him not in the league anymore.
My number 5 is another defenseman, and this guy kind of proved that he would go through a wall for this team because he kind of once did it with his head, and that is Josh Georges.
Oh my God! I was going to put him on my list.
I was thinking about him. It was between him and another defenseman.
Well, you guys should have done like I did. I went on Wikipedia and I went through every day. I saw everybody, so it would have helped. You know, Josh Georges.
I saw his name,
and Josh Georges a bit of a not a superstar, but a low star. Like
he had no.
Oh God!
This guy was not a talented guy, but he made absolutely the most of every ounce of talent he had. This guy was he had such drive and determination, and that's what made him who he was.
And didn't he go to San Jose?
I thought that was Rive went to San. Didn't Rive go to out west?
I don't remember.
Very similar players, by the way, for me.
But
Rive,
he did.
He went out west.
Out to the West Coast.
Later.
But Georges, man, this guy. Remember one time he slid into
the Canadian kid,
and the next day he played.
Yeah, I thought his neck was broken.
Well, unbelievable! I love Georges.
I
really love him when he went to Buffalo. Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy having to go to Buffalo. I have to admit. Yeah,
I totally forgot he put his head through a wall.
Pretty much, he almost did through the boards.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that guy just had kind of like Odeline.
Josh Georges,
a lot like Odeline. That same kind of heart. Odeline, Georges had that same heart. That
both were on my top 25 non-stars that didn't make the cut.
Odeline was a bit of a star. That's why I didn't put him really.
Greatest smile in hockey, man.
Yeah, I love Odeline. Was great. Odeline was great.
The thing is, with Odeline and Georges both, if you think about it, and I, because I love fighters, Georges would drop the glove with anybody. When there was, do you remember that? Like he had, he knew he was going to get his ass kicked, but he would still drop gloves. With anybody.
But Odie would too. But Odie didn't get his ass kicked as much.
No, Odie kicked the ass.
He kicks the asses. Yeah, throw a Zamboni at you. That guy, he's so strong.
Oh,
okay. Who's Delaney? Who's your number 4?
We touched on him earlier. Pierre Mondu.
Pierre Mondu.
Yeah, I loved his name. When you said that, I was like, yep, that's why I used to like saying his name.
I always loved that.
And I believe we traded him to Minnesota.
No. He had to retire because of his eye injury. He never.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we didn't trade him.
Took a stick to the eye, remember?
Yeah, in the playoff game.
For some reason, right? I was thinking we got him with Bobby Smith from Minnesota.
No.
Nope.
No, he got hit with the eye in a playoff game, if I'm correct.
Was it a playoff? Okay.
I don't
remember. I
think it was.
I just remember watching him running down the hallway, holding his head there.
Yeah. I think it was. I want to say against Boston, but I could be wrong. But I think it was anyway.
And I think I cried.
Great player. Yeah. No, it was so sad when he couldn't come back.
I think I cried.
When he couldn't come back, it was just like, wow, what a disappointment that he would have to, like, his career would end that way.
Yeah.
Just a great play. I think it was a really, not a great player, but right on that edge of being a great player.
I think he could have been a modest star eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
Able to continue.
Today, the numbers he put up, if he did that today, yes, he would be a star.
Oh, hands down.
His numbers were good enough to be a first-line center on a lot of teams today.
Oh, hell yeah.
This guy was putting up 60 points as a third-line center.
He could skate really well, as I recall.
Yeah,
and he played the body like he had a full game. He had a very well-rounded game.
A really good player, really good.
Really unfortunate there.
Matt, who's your number 4?
So there's between this guy and Georges. I lean towards this guy because I absolutely love watching him crush people. I went with Alexei Emelin.
Emelin. yeah.
Emelin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was never big on Emelin for some reason. I like to see him
I
hit.
like
Never
him.
loved
I
him,
like
never
him.
hated him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's it. I'm lukewarm either way.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was, a decent stay-at-home D-man. He, potted a couple points, but I just loved watching him crush people.
I loved.
Oh, he
I
can
loved
hit
watching
somebody,
him just
man.
freight train
Which is
through
what I'm
people.
going to love about Romanov is seeing him do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, that's really why Emelin's on there for me. I just loved watching him crush
Solid,
people.
he's a solid player and can't be knocked. I can see why somebody would like him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He had good. He was another defenseman that had really good edge work with his skates. Like,
right.
That's why he was able to nail those open ice hits the way he did, because he was able to cut on a dime and get into that spot very quickly. To take that body right out. And
he almost died this past year, right? He had a heart or some kind of condition.
Yeah,
almost died.
Something. Yeah,
they saved his life.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. I think it was a heart condition, and they fixed him up, and he's okay now. Apparently, he's at full recovery. Okay. Peter,
I'm up.
You're up.
Well, it was a hard decision because I didn't know whether to go with Didick or Dirk. I ended up going with Robert Dirk.
Dirk.
Yeah,
Dirk.
Just a nasty person to meet in the corners or up against the boards or get into a fight with.
Yeah, so he never made an impression on me, I have to say.
No.
Peter?
I was very disappointed to see him go to Vancouver. I wish we could have kept him, but shit happens, right?
Shit happens.
And Dick and Dirk both ended up in Vancouver, and they dominated here.
Either or, Peter, is the reason why I was looking forward to seeing this list, because that's what it's all about. Just those guys who stood out, like that Zarli Zalapsky and
guys that made you happy, that you liked for whatever reason, for no reason.
That's an awesome choice, man.
Yeah.
That could get random guy on the list award, I think.
Yeah, you know what?
I think so.
I met
him or Zalapsky. I think you got it both covered, right?
Didick, Dirk, and Merson. I met them in downtown Victoria when they were here in a training camp, and I met them at the Great Canadian Casino. And I was sitting right next to Merson. Merson was playing blackjack with me, and I was just like, "Hey, aren't you dating Merson?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "I wish you hit more like Didick and Dirk do." He's like, "Yeah, well, they're over there. Go talk to them."
Lucky you, man, meeting all these guys. My number 4, we've already talked about. So my number 4 was Denny Harrell. Yeah.
Solid little French goaltender.
Solid little goalie. All right. So since we talked about him, move on to number 3 for you, Mr. What's your name again? Delaney. That's it.
And the reason why I'm wearing the Hartford Whalers jersey, because this guy was one of my favorite Whalers as well. We used to call him assistant coach Dougie Jarvis.
Oh yeah, Doug Jarvis. I almost put him on my list, Doug Jarvis.
And I didn't take him because I thought he was considered a star.
Geek Carbonell before Geek Carbonell.
With the Stars, he'd still make my top 10 favorite Habs of all time.
Yeah,
Love Doug Jarvis. Loved him in Hartford.
How many games did he have? His Ironman streak. How many games was that? Do you know?
Oh,
over 800 games. I know.
Yeah. It's like
amazing Ironman streak.
Somewhere around 848, 828.
Like that. Yeah. Doug Jarvis, amazing Ironman streak.
Oh, man. Just a solid.
And he was Guy Carbonell before Guy Carbonell. This guy was not that much behind Guy Carbonell. He was really good.
Just a solid centerman, right? You couldn't ask for any better.
Like, you want a guy, you want a shutdown guy, definitely.
I didn't pick him because I thought
Doug Jarvis is a lot like my number 1.
Doug Jarvis, not a star, but he was a good hockey
player.
player.
Like he was good, but he wasn't like a star.
To me, a lot of the older guys like that are stars, man.
That's cool.
They played in an era. Yeah, they played in an era where, my God, hockey was.
Dougie Jarvis is as much of a star as Alexei Yemelin, like just that solid player, like
maybe a little bigger, but yeah, exactly.
He wasn't a small dude.
But that's the thing, Matt. Like when you said Emlyn, I was like, I did like him, but I can see why somebody would like him, right? He was a solid player, and that's why Doug Jarvis was the same thing.
Yeah. Matt, who's your number 3?
So this is actually my first of 2 current Montreal Canadiens. Because again, I'm younger, so I don't go as far back as these ancient guys.
You don't have to qualify it. Don't worry.
I went with Arturi Lehkonen.
Good choice.
I went with him much kind of like similar reasons why I went with my number 2 guy. But to me, he gives a lot of effort. He plays where he's needed. He can kill penalties. You know, he can score when he wants to. I think he's great on his skates. I think he's very fast. You know, I just think he's a really good depth piece to have.
Oh yeah, he is. You don't win cups without players like that around on your team.
Precisely.
Yeah,
that perfectly said, Rick. You need an Arturi Lehkonen on your team. Look at the guy. Like,
love me some Lehkonen.
Oh,
which is why I don't understand a lot of people's projections. You know, I just did that projected lineup video. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter putting out their projected lineups. A lot of them have Perreault on the wing instead of Lehkonen, and I don't
see. I think you gotta have Lehkonen in there. I think Lehkonen's too good to be left off.
Yeah, I don't see how Lehkonen.
I think Lehkonen's got to be on there. I think they should put him and Evans together again. And obviously Byron's out, so you can't have the bell line. But I thought him and Evans were
too many guys on the left side ahead of him. If Drew
love me some
I get that.
Finnish hockey players.
I'm just thinking like chemistry wise, because that bell line chemistry wise clicked really well together.
No, it did. You never know how it'll line up, but yeah.
We were in Vancouver watching the last game before the COVID hit, and we watched Montreal dominate Vancouver. And Lecky was you asked my daughters, he was jumping at the boards at them, and Domi ended up giving Kearney the puck and stuff. Lecky, Tatar, Domi, Gallagher, they all hung out where my daughters were over in the corner. Right? It was my girls were on cloud 9. They were just vibrating. So happy. They're good people. Good guys.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like all 4 of them, and obviously Tatar and Domi aren't no longer on the team, but they are very, very nice guys. Like
good people.
That's where they are.
No, without a doubt.
Especially Domi. Domi does a lot with kids with diabetes because he's also a diabetic, and I absolutely love that about him.
Yeah, no,
honestly, I want Domi back. I really do. I know he's a waste of space.
He's not coming back. I doubt he's coming back.
No, he's not coming back.
I
would love to have him back.
Okay, Pete, who's your 3rd?
Darcy Tucker.
Darcy. He wasn't here long. He wasn't here long, though.
He wasn't here long, but
he went to the Leafs.
You know me. I like the nasty boys. I like the guys that skate on that fine line.
He definitely did that. Mind. He definitely did that. I kind of see him as like a Nazem Kadri type of the way he plays.
Yep. It's just not as stupid as Nazem Kadri, but
but I mean that nasty type, you know.
Yeah,
I see him. He's
like a bit of a dirty player.
Yeah,
you know, a bit of a dirty player, but he unfortunately fell off that fine line onto the wrong side of the line and did some stupid things. But God damn it, I love that edge. I love the players that.
Where did we send him to? Edge. Was it the Lightning or the Leafs? Why do I think the Leafs?
Leafs.
We sent him to the Leafs, and then he used to just beat the shit out of us.
Right, and then he went to the Lightning, or he never played for the Lightning?
I don't remember him playing for the Lightning.
Didn't Tucker play in?
Can I just say one thing? And I wanna. This will be the only thing I say about Darcy Tucker.
I know you hate him, right?
It was definitely by far top 3 trades of all time in Montreal when we shipped him out, and I guarantee you I'll talk about Darcy Tucker in a later video.
Who did we get from? Who did we get back from?
I didn't care.
Do you remember? Pete, who did we get
from?
No,
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
No.
I'd take 3 Hitlers and a Bin Laden.
I don't like him only because after he left, he was nasty to play against.
But he wasn't bad when he was with us. You got to admit.
But he wasn't here long.
For the short period of time they played with us.
Yeah.
I remember him, and was it Brad May or Rob Ray?
Very similar guys.
Remember. And
I didn't
they
like
had him
him.
pinned up against the wall, and he just all of a sudden you just saw the eyes. They just kind of went squirrely, and he just out of nowhere swapped hands and just started clobbering. But he still lost.
I'd see him get into a fight, and I would hope he'd lose.
Yeah, I didn't like Darcy Tucker.
Number one on my list.
Okay.
All right, my number three. I think you guys know who he is,
Can't
but
get
maybe
any
not.
worse.
No. My number three. I like you. You probably don't know who he is. Defenseman. Had a wicked shot from the point. Problem was, didn't know where the fuck it was going. Oh,
I thought
I might know what you're talking about. I might know who you're talking about.
We already talked about Russ Courtnall.
Oh, we lost.
It was going so well.
Hey, he'll come back. No, it's not Russ Courtnall. No, Gaston Gingras. No, do you guys?
I know because my dad used to talk about him.
Gaston Gingras was a blast to watch.
Because even my dad would talk, he's like, yeah, he had a hell of a shot, but when he wound up, I wasn't afraid because he couldn't hit the net.
No, but the guys were afraid to go in front of the net because you didn't know. It could be in your head, it could be at your feet, it could be in the corner. You didn't know where it was going.
Yeah.
And it was
I feel the same
shot.
way about Russ Courtnall. He was a great skater, but he just couldn't find the net. Like he'd miss the net so often. Yeah. I used to say Courtnall couldn't score on a soccer net.
No, he wasn't.
But yeah.
He could put up 20 goals a season.
I did not like him, no.
Obviously, like him.
But he did not make the other list. He was one of the.
We're talking about Gingras now.
Yep.
Pete, do you remember Gaston?
Yes, yep. I do.
You remember how guys were a little bit afraid to stand in front of the net when he was firing from the point.
You know what? What was that movie? Was it called Slapshot, where the fucking friggin' puck just went wherever?
I don't know if it was on Slapshot or is it the Mighty Ducks? They had a guy. Some. I don't know if it was Slapshot, but
yeah. There's a few players in the NHL that are like that. They're kind of wow. Where's that puck going, boy?
Yeah, and he could fire the puck. Like it wasn't.
If they could,
it wasn't a light shot. He had a heavy shot, and you didn't know where it was going.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love how you went into that wicked shot. Didn't know where the fuck it was going.
You didn't. You didn't know where it was going. That was the fun.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, my dad
used to talk bobbing in and out, but we've got a nasty windstorm going on out there. So
yeah, I figured something was up like that. No worries.
My cousin used to hate him so much. If he was lost, he's like, I'm as lost as a Gingras shot. Like he couldn't stand him.
Yeah. So I like Gingras was okay. I was fine with Gingras.
Dad liked him too, and he's a Leafs fan, so that tells you lots.
Oh well, there you go. Delaney? Who's your number two?
My number two, we talked about him, but Cristobal Huet. I liked this kid before he was in the NHL. I watched him when France was moving up the ranks in the World Juniors. Like I used to get high and go on the IHF and look at all the random teams and see who their biggest scorer and stuff was and go, I wonder what he'd do in the NHL. And it's the reason why I knew who Anze Kopitar was when he was like 16, scoring mad goals against like the Dutch and all these like loser teams. But he was putting up points. I was like, I'd love to see this guy go. So when LA took him, I was like really stoked. But Cristobal Huet, just best goalie ever, best French goalie ever.
I would have loved to see his reaction when he came to Quebec. It was like, what the hell kind of French are you speaking?
Yeah, true.
Real French, because he's the only French guy I can picture that Montreal has had.
I think so. I think he is.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other French goaltenders who have made the NHL since.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think there's any.
Who's your number two, Matt?
So my number two is my second of the two current players, and it's Yoel Armia.
Oh yeah.
Like another
love
guy,
me
some
like you guys
Finn.
said, another depth guy that you need. If you want to go on a cup run, he's got tremendous size, ferocious on the forecheck. Like I like to say, he doesn't remove the puck from you. He removes you from the puck. He will go in the corner. He will beat you into the boards to get the puck. And when he's got space too, I mean, he's got the mitts and he's got the shot to make something happen.
And yet, I wish he would be more physical, or I want to say actually meaner.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I would like from Armia.
Buddy,
now,
I think it's coming. I think it's
I
coming.
hope so. I wish he would get mean streak.
That is a guy that I think is just starting to scratch the surface of what he can do on the ice. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know what he's capable of. He's clueless.
I agree. He's a former, a 16th overall pick? This guy was a top pick.
I don't know what he was.
First round, 16th, I think. Something like that. So
thank you, Winnipeg.
Absolutely.
Yeah, seriously.
Well,
yeah,
Winnipeg for trading him, but Buffalo
That's
for drafting
a great
him.
pick, Matt. Because
Matt,
you all know how I feel about him.
And you know what?
He's another guy, Peter, like you said, like he's the type of depth guy that you need on your team if you want to make a cup run.
Oh,
I said it, by the way.
Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Matt.
Sorry, go ahead.
Outside of Gallagher, I would say Lehkonen, Armia, and then KK. I love me some Finns. Formula One, my favorite guy that's not Canadian is Finn. Like,
you know what
I just thought about him. Solid, all heart, good leaders.
You know what I like?
And Finnish players that play for the Canadians. I mean, Saku Koivu, too.
2 years.
Fantastic. He's the reason I became a Habs fan. I love Saku Koivu.
What I like about Armia a lot is that you put him on the fourth line, and he delivers.
Oh, you put him on any line, and that boy delivers.
No, but I mean, this isn't a guy that needs to be top six, say, to produce that 25, 30 points he's going to produce.
Yeah.
He'll do it on the fourth line, and I would really like that.
Rick, that's Joel Armia is the younger version of Paul Byron. You can put Byron in any situation, and Byron will make it work.
Yeah, we got three of them.
I almost had Byron on my list, but I didn't want to go for a lot of current players.
But you could say that about Lehkonen too. Lehkonen, he proved he can go on any line and play. He did it in the playoffs. So.
I love
Lehkonen on the penalty kill too. I think Lehkonen's a very underrated penalty killer.
You got a hole, insert one of them Finns.
Yep. I like Finnish players. I don't know what's going on in Finland, but man, they're producing freaking good
great. Yeah, incredible hockey players.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
But you watch Armia. That guy is he's a flower that's just starting to open up. He's gonna blossom.
He's so good on the forecheck too, and we saw that in the playoffs. He's an animal when he gets going on the forecheck.
He's just hitting his prime, so
he's 28, right?
He's
27 or 28. Yeah,
I think he's UFA, so he has to be over 27. So 27 or 28.
Oh, he's signed, and I love that contract too. That contract is perfect.
Yeah,
they signed him for two, so the next contract they'll probably sign him for another 2. I pray that they sign him for another 2. I don't want to lose him.
Just remember,
he's a key piece.
He's got 3 guys ahead of him legitimately, so he's a fourth liner. Unless something happens, but
playing his role.
His production will be limited a little bit, but I think he can still produce pretty well.
But the thing is, Rick, if he shows the ability to play, the heart, and produces, why would you put him down? Why wouldn't you say, you know what, you're going to play up here? I don't know. I
because you got Gallagher, Anderson, and Caulfield ahead of him. You can't tell me that you should displace one of those guys. No, I'm
not saying that. But
you can't put Gallagher on a fourth line. $6.5 million. You cannot
put Gallagher on a fourth line. But I also think that we don't have Gallagher for very much longer as well.
Well, that we'll find out. Anyway, that's not for this one. Let's move on. Pete, who's your number 2?
Tim, you know me. I like the tough guys. My last 2 are tough guys. So
it's okay.
Big.
I have a feeling I know who number 1 is.
Big John the Jowls Kordic.
John Kordic. I had him on my list. I took him out. I did have him on my list.
I love him.
But he was wild. the only problem for me with Kordic is his fights were amazing. So if you
Right?
and I was
The fights were amazing.
Fighting was in back then. So yes, but he was
a Don Cherry guy.
He was a wild man, and it was definitely steroids, and he would rage, and that's the only thing that bothered me. But man, his fights were something to watch.
Out of all of us in here, who I'm a goon. So who am I going to go with? I'm going to go with those goons. I love the goons. And John Kordic was, oh my God, he was like today's boogeyman. What was that guy's name? Bugart. I would have loved to have seen a fight between Kordic and Bugart.
Oh God, would have been bloody.
Oh,
yeah.
Could you imagine?
My number 2 is probably your number 1, Pete. Chris Nyland.
Oh, you got it. Yes. Chris Nyland. Love him.
How can you not like
him and
Chris
Max
Nyland?
LaPerriere were the last 2 guys cut from the list.
And I would dare say
I
would dare say Nyland comes close to being a star, even though you would think not. But this guy, he scored 19 goals one season. I think 21 season, and then 19, and I think it was 21, and then 19 the next season. So this guy turned himself into a hockey player.
He could score, but
he could play. Yeah,
Knucks, baby.
I love Knuckles. Knuckles was love to watch Knuckles fight
from Beantown.
Just love that guy, absolutely.
Oh,
so yeah, I beat you to it, Pete.
You bastard! But you know what? Watching Knuckles. Whenever I show the girls old hockey videos, I'm just like, hey, you want to see something really cool? Watch this guy fight. And and he was so much smaller than every guy that he fought, and he always put them down on their ass.
Oh God, Knuckles, yeah. Knuckles was small for a fighter, but he fought everybody, and he didn't lose often.
Didn't matter who you were going down.
Nope. Yeah, definitely.
That's why he's my number 1. You bastard.
Yep. We lost Delaney, and it's his turn. Matt, until he gets back, who's your number 1?
So my number 1, you could call him a star. He's kind of on the fence. Rick cleared it, so it's okay. I won't get cut. I went with Brian Giunta.
Yeah. No, Giunta's fair. Where is he?
I always loved Brian Giunta as a player, even before he was with the Canadians. I thought he was a great captain, and I thought, he played bigger than he was. Yeah, he was a smaller guy, but I thought just the way he carried himself, just the way he played, I thought he played much bigger than what he was.
Definitely. Brian Giunta. What did I do?
Oh, no, I'm just effing Giunta.
Oh, you don't like Giunta?
Yeah, I'll talk about that later, though.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, no, Giunta's fair.
Giunta was okay.
He was okay. Just when they all got here, that group of players, it just was so. I don't know. I didn't know the team anymore. I really felt I didn't know this team anymore when they all joined.
It's like, where'd the Quebecois? Where'd they go?
No, it's not that. Just
no, it wasn't
the players were all
so
many. Excuse me, so many new players at once.
No, I got you.
I think we had 6 new players.
Like I said, I'm a lot younger. So.
And Giunta, we got Giunta and Gomez. We got 7 years too late.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
no, I agree with that.
But with Giunta, I find that I don't know. I don't want to say it was his heart. Maybe it was he just needed to take more games off than he wanted to play.
He was too old.
He was the captain.
No, he was too old at that point to be your top guy. It was age, I think. That's all.
You think it was age? Yeah, I think in the later years when we had him, he was playing in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he was at the end of I think.
Like I said, I was also a fan of his. He played with the Devils, so.
I loved him, Gomez, all those guys when they played with the Devils. I thought they were the most dominant players on the teams.
Yeah.
But when we got them, I don't know what Montreal staff were thinking, but why would you bring players that are done at the end of their careers?
Caney was a great hockey player, not a great GM.
No.
That's what I always say. That's my opinion.
Agreed.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Great hockey player, not a good GM.
Delaney, who's your number one? Since Matt had to sub in for you while you left.
Sorry about that.
No,
my number one, Shane Corson.
Well, I won't have to do mine.
Second favorite Hab of all
Wait,
time.
1 sec. Since we're at number one, I won't have to do mine because that's mine as well. So let's talk. Yeah, Shane Corson. I love Shane Corson.
Great freaking minds, brother.
Yeah,
Shane
Corson. Shane Corson
knew how to party, knew how to take a hockey card.
That's why he was traded, by the way. You know that? He knew how to party. He was traded because of the partying.
Yep.
It was a character issue.
It was the cocaine and the
partying
and the girls. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I loved him. He's great. That's why I love number 27. Like that's why
I've heard of him supposedly being in a limo in Montreal one time, and he had 7 hookers. Like they were driving down the road, and he ended up grabbing 7 hookers.
Fall out, motherfucker!
Right?
That's probably true.
Brought 7 hookers into the goddamn limo with him, and ended up. It was something to do with a practice. I don't know what it was, but I've heard of. Yeah,
he was a partier. That's why he got
a Stanley Cup with Montreal. So I just loved him as a player. Second favorite Hab of all time, but favorite Oiler, Leaf, and what's the other team he played for? He played.
I don't remember. I know there was one. Was it St. Louis? Yeah, I think you're right. That's right. That's where we traded him. That's where we got him the second time from.
For me, Corson and Svoboda.
I considered Svoboda.
I like Svoboda too.
I ended up liking him. I did not like him when we got him. I didn't think he would be any good. He was too small. He turned out to be a pretty good defenseman.
Right?
You know? Yeah. So I ended up liking him. Didn't like him, but I considered him. Matt. Pete. Who? What?
Who had Gianta as their favorite?
Matt led off number one because you.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
Your list was so good till then.
Pete, who's your?
Knuckles Nyland, you knew it. You called it.
Right.
Knuckles
That's right.
Nyland.
There you go. Well, there you go. We got it all done.
Monday through Friday on Off the Cuff with Knuckles Nyland on TSN Montreal.
Yeah,
he does something on. I got it on my phone somewhere. He does something on an Instagram page. I follow him on Instagram and shit like that. And,
he's a great guy. I love Knuckles. All right,
I love
I'm gonna get one of his sweatshirts.
Great character, great radio host.
Yeah, he's funny.
Didn't make my list, but like I said, him, LePerrier, and Shell Dahlin.
Darlene! Yeah, what about Darlene? How come he's not on the list?
These are the guys that just didn't make the list, but I absolutely love. Alexei Yemelin was another one of those guys. I did like him.
Yeah, I've never seen Darlene on that list.
Darlene was good. He was a good goal scorer. He scored 30 goals.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we're running a little long anyway, so we're gonna. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That's our 10. That's our 10. Don't forget, if you want to leave who your favorites were in the comment section, please do that. Please give a thumbs up if you like the video, and if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Get to your daily fix of Blue Bar Rouge right here Talking Habs, and that's it for me and the boys. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Ciao, ciao. Bye, everybody.
Take it easy, guys.